I'm thinking. My R is a little off here. Kind of sounds like Shaddur's free fall. There's no R. Maybe I should have worn some chains. Something along those lines.
Talk about a precipitous decline. A
free fall.
Dropping. Man. Who else had a free fall? Brady Quinn had a really bad free fall.
Brady Quinn, Aaron Rodgers, Geno Smith. Lamar Jackson had a little bit of one.
Yeah, Lamar ended up going at the very end of the first round.
Yeah. Malik Willis had a bit of a free fall.
Yeah, Malik Willis. He'll actually, unlike Shaddur, Malik actually played the next year due to injuries. Oh, Lyle Collins, that one.
Yeah, Lyle
Who's
Collins.
Somebody that you can just remember just sitting in the green room, just seething? I remember
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron
Rodgers.
Was awesome.
That's the most infamous one because it was between him and Alex Smith for the number one pick, and Randy Moss. That was another one.
Oh yeah,
but he was never in the green.
That was shocking. Yeah, I'm just talking about someone who's just they're drinking soda and they're just getting all. Will Levis had a pretty bad one too.
Mm-hmm. Yep, he fell to day 2.
Thank you, Matthews. Mm-hmm.
The guy from Green Bay that Green Bay drafted in the 4th round, they thought he'd be a day 2 pick, and he was there until like day 3.
Yeah. Roethlisberger was number 7 overall.
Yeah, Roethlisberger wasn't really a free fall.
He wasn't waiting, because Rivers went 1, then Eli went 4, and then Roethlisberger 7. So.
Yeah. Chargers wanted Rivers. That's why he went. Otherwise, he would have been a giant.
Yeah.
And the reality is, Cowher didn't even want Big Ben. He actually wanted to draft Shane Andrews, the tackle out of Arkansas. But Dan Rooney pretty much said, no, you're drafting Ben.
Yep. All right, let's tier make these picks. We don't got all night.
Buddy.
I will present
the truth,
my
man. Yeah, buddy.
Screen.
But let's do this real quick. Lou of 503. Things I did not have my playoff hockey bingo card. John Gruden becoming a St. Louis Blues fan. Didn't know that. Is he like from the St. Louis area? Huh. I mean, it's like Tony X. Remember 10 years ago when he was, I think it was game 7 with the Blues Blackhawks. Like he was a viral tweet. I think he still tweets about hockey.
Tony X, yeah, he was like he's a big account.
Mm-hmm. The Lim Report for New Zealand. Yeah, buddy, big time. I still see his tweets every now and again. Congratulations, Sanders family. To no one's surprise, Shaddur didn't get drafted on day 1. But the shock is that he had to wait until day 3. Also, YNWA. But I mean, when you where were you when you realized Tyler Shuck was drafted over Shaddur?
Dude, the internet was going crazy when Dylan Gabriel went, who was a quarterback, and then they drafted the same team drafts him.
Yeah. I mean, in the 5th round, which doesn't make sense. I mean, Cleveland would draft Shaddur. I mean, you have 5 quarterbacks right now, which is the crazy thing. You have Joe Flacco, Deshaun Watson. He's probably not playing, so count him out. Kenny Pickett, probably the best quarterback in that room. Kenny Pickett mittens. I'm coping. I don't give a shit. Dylan Gabriel, who wasn't really that good. I mean, he has a lot of limitations. And then Shaddur, who you're going to have Dion breathing down your neck and really smells like a Jimmy Haslam metal job.
Yeah, like I wonder who's going to get converted to a wide receiver out of the, obviously not Kenny Mittens.
No,
but
Shaddur's ego will never let him be a wide receiver.
Yeah. Red Rhino, one of them has to work, right?
Right.
One of them.
That's what I was hoping for the Colts when they had, I think in 2023, it's just like draft all quarterbacks. One of them's got to work.
Do you just want to go in alphabetical order?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. So Arizona, they got Walter Nolan.
Walter Nolan, defensive line.
I think they did really well to get Will Johnson, probably the best corner in the draft in the 2nd round. And then a bunch of role players, Cody Simon. And, I don't know if they address like too many needs. I mean, their defense sucks. Their offense
They went heavy defense. So That's pretty much what I'm looking at right here. So at this rate, I feel like they more or less just tried to go into Jonathan Gannon's wheelhouse. They did get Josh Sweat earlier this year, and Walter Nolan. It depends how you feel about his character concerns. There were a lot of issues about like practice and work ethic, and who knows? I mean, he's definitely like a boom bust type. So as I said, it's like it's too early. That's why I'm not a fan of like grading drafts this early, because you need like 5 years to really get there. I feel like a C is like you did your job, you did what you had to do, and honestly, it's in development at this rate. So I'd say a B or C for Arizona.
I give them a C.
Mm-hmm.
I give them a C.
Yeah, I ain't gonna argue that one.
Okay. Give them a C.
Buddy.
Okay, Atlanta. They finally took a linebacker.
They took a couple edges, but
and an edge which they needed.
But the problem
still
is
not
like
great at. Go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, but the thing is, like with Jalen Walker, they're probably gonna use him as an edge because like their edge rushing was terrible last year.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing with James Pierce, I still can't get over trading a future first for the 26th overall pick.
Doesn't make much sense. They made several trades, and they only ended up with 5 picks in this draft. So, and they took 2 safeties.
They're going all in on the edge rushers. Like if they don't work out, it's going to set them back years.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be an edgelord, but I'm going to give them also a C. Like this is not going to be one of those drafts where I do that shit where I do all C's. That is too much.
No, B is no A and B. That's more like Mel Kiper in the NFL.
Yeah,
that's me.
Yeah,
I would say that.
Do we have any more supers? Read some supers.
We got a couple, man. Do what you gotta do, man. Do what you gotta do. Connor Akers, Brady should announce the 199th pick at the draft. Dude, that is rent free, man. Rent fucking free. Whew. They'll probably trade up to do it too. They're that petty. Coach PL basketball, Dak Prescott, Warren Sapp, and Dan Marino were other interesting free falls. Dan Marino, you're right. Because the Jets were Jets fans were flipping out because they thought that Ken O'Brien, like they were drafting Marino, and then it turned into Ken O'Brien. It was a good quarterback, but he wasn't Dan Marino. There were a lot of questions about Marino coming out of college, rumors about drug use, work rate. Like if he were in Pittsburgh, I don't know if he would have succeeded. So that's the question. And you never know because they brought in a defensive tackle, Gabe Rivera, but he became a paraplegic, which is fucking tragic in a car accident like a year after or in his rookie year.
Terrible. Dak Prescott, I don't think was shocking that he fell.
Yeah.
Sapp
was
he wasn't projected to be like a one, at one point Shaddur was number 1. Everyone was
everyone was thinking he'd be 1 or 2.
Yeah, play poor for Shaddur.
But the problem is if you actually look at his game film, it's not that impressive. Like it's like these are all Travis Hunter highlights.
All right, Baltimore got a slew of picks. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 picks.
Including Tyler Loop, the replacement for Justin Tucker.
They got Malachi Starks as their first pick. They didn't pick till late, but they got a ton of picks.
Yeah, and they picked and they're probably all going to succeed because this is how the Ravens do. Like Malachi Starks and Mike Green. Mike Green has a lot of character concerns with the sexual assault allegations, but just watch. He'll keep his head down and become a stud because this is what the Ravens do.
The Browns probably wanted to draft him.
I feel like the Browns would be close. He doesn't have enough like masseuse allegations,
Yeah. Or
I don't know if they're really
or Uber driver groping.
Yep, exactly. I would give the Ravens a solid B.
They just for the sheer volume of pick. They just got so many, How could they mess it up?
Yeah, buddy.
Buffalo, this one's also going to be tough to gauge, though. They picked really late in the first round, the 30th overall. They took a cornerback.
Maxwell Hairston does have a sexual assault allegation back in high school. But the thing I'm thinking about here is if there's a team to make this pick, it's actually Buffalo because they have to be extra careful in this situation because Matt Araiza. Remember what happened there? The allegations came out. They cut him.
Yeah, and he ended up being a
Chief. There was some damning allegations.
Yeah. And then, they took some DTs, a tight end really late. Anything after the 4th round is an absolute crapshoot. I think really the first 3 picks are what we can grade on,
Yeah.
For now, just to see if they addressed any needs. But you're right. It takes about 5 years. I'm going to give Buffalo. What do you think? A C?
I would say like a B or a C. Once again, it's one of those things where you need time to really gauge these things. So I don't like to really like pan a draft or praise a draft early on. And that's what makes it boring.
Yeah.
But I mean, everyone's done the draft to death and stuff. So I'm working on the NFL draft video that'll be out tomorrow.
The Haters Guide.
Yep, the Haters Guide. And yep.
I'm doing glow in the dark baseball. I'm not doing any. Ooh. Well, I might do draft coverage next week. I might talk
do the Haters Guide to glow in the dark baseball.
Well, I'm gonna. I should just start ripping you off. I might do greatest draft slides in the history. And then also I want to do a video on how Jamarcus Russell basically changed the NFL. Like because of Jamarcus Russell, they changed rookie bonuses and the teams are more afraid to draft QBs 1-1, like because of bad interviews. Like teams have shied away. Like that Shaddur Sanders can be pissed at Jamarcus Russell. Because they used to be like, he was a bad interview, whatever. But ever since Jamarcus Russell, they're like,
some of the stuff coming out about Shaddur Sanders, though, it looked like it was a lot worse than just a random interview. It was just a mess. We're talking about, the Giants, like they were looking at him as a potential number 1. If he didn't bomb that interview, they'd probably take him over Jackson Dart. Because like he had brought in packages, Shaddur couldn't understand it. Like he wasn't
that's
taking
what
blame for any interceptions. He was getting like pissy with a bunch of guys. He apparently sandbagged a bunch of different interviews that he didn't use. So the problem is like it's the ego thought he was more talented than he was. The reality is, here's the thing: if you can be the biggest piece of shit in the world, you can be Adolf Hitler of the NFL world. If you can play football really fucking well, you're gonna have a job. That's the reality of it. I mean, Tyreek Hill, look out, his rap sheet's a mile long. Guess what?
Oh my God.
He can play football. Justin Tucker, guess what? He might not have a job because he can't play football. Jeff Reed, massive douchebag, got arrested a couple times. Steelers tolerated him until he can no longer kick a football. Then they cut him.
Oh, look at Watson. Deshaun Watson. He would still be out there if he could play.
Well, if
they were going to start him until his legs fell off.
Well, because Jimmy Haslam's an idiot. That's why.
Yeah. Only Trevor Bauer.
Fully guaranteed contract. Well, Trevor Bauer, I feel like baseball's being punitive with him. Like, it's not just the allegations there. It's because he's stuck into baseball. Apparently, he's not doing too well in Japan right now, but who knows?
Yeah. All right, Carolina. They got they went with a wide out.
Aderoa McMillan. Bryce Young needs weapons. They're going all in on him. They were looking at defense early, but they went defense in the later picks because it's their defense was kind of a mess last year.
They picked up Trevor Etienne too. Interesting.
Yep, Trevor Etienne,
that's a social media
brother
pick.
Well, Trevor Etienne does have some talent,
and they picked up Jimmy Horn Jr.
Yep.
Wow, talk about a slide for him. He was ranked
Jimmy
pretty
Horn
high.
And J.C. Horn.
Yeah. He was, and then he goes in the 6th round, but he might scrap for a roster spot, but he's no Joe Horn.
Well, of course not. Well, Joe Horn, remember, he was a late pick too, so
yeah.
I think he had to move from Green Bay to New Orleans to develop.
All right, let's give them a C. Because
I like the Tetaroa pick though. I think I like what they did there because I think the thing too, it's that someone like him, like Bryce Young, needs like a big target weapon.
Let's give him a B.
Let's give them a B because they probably addressed the need. All right, read some.
Oh yeah,
before we get to a bear,
man, we'll do. Jared Froman, I've got an idea. Do an MLB team tier list of the last stream of each month during the season. Can we try that tonight? I mean, I maybe next week. Next week wouldn't be a bad idea.
What do we do? We're
doing like an MLB team tier. Like, are they doing good or shit? Well, I mean, we can just mock the Colorado Rockies the whole time. They're on pace for 24 wins.
Yeah,
the Pirates still
Mets are doing good. The Mets look good. I hope they save these wins for October.
The White Sox are on pace for about the same record as they had last year, but the Rockies are 4-24. It's so bad.
The White Sox are pulling Houston Astros. You know, remember when the Astros tanked like fucking all hell?
But they weren't even tanking well last year. They had to fall to 10th. The Rockies can't pick higher than 10th either this year.
Pre-2017, like they were tanking
when they
their asses off.
Oh, yeah, like in the early 2010s. Oh, they were deep tankers, man. But here's the thing. They didn't have those rules. They were able to accrue top picks. Like they got Bregman and Correa from that. Springer, too. But the White Sox, do you really trust them to develop the likes of Correa, Bregman, and Springer from their minor league system? Do you really trust Colson Montgomery to be anything? No, he's going to get traded for magic beans.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, supers.
Yeah, buddy. Beast of metal. I must apologize for my comments about the Guardians last week. I was not aware that Larry Dolan had shortfallen the Virginia McCaskey Challenge by 8 years in February. I did not intend to disparage Worm Food. Rest in peace to the Worm Food. Arrow Flambe. No work today, so we live. Keep an eye on the mail. I absolutely will, sir. I'll go to my P.O. box later this week. Thank you, Vince. Hope you're doing well, brother.
Vinny, hey. I heard he's sending me something too, so I'll be on the lookout.
Absolutely. 3 for 5. Idea for a new reality drama series. I DM'd you, Tree. The real quarterbacks of Cleveland. Also, RK Stadium announced yesterday. Check it out. Oh, I did see that. Dan Snyder has to be punching air, and it is fucking hilarious.
I hear it's a really bad deal, though. I hear it's a lot of public funding, and it's a big ripoff for the residents. And
it's a $3.7 billion deal. The Commanders are going to put up $2.7 billion for the development, anchored by a roof 65,000 seat stadium, while cost for DC taxpayers is expected to top $1 billion. The team is covering cost overruns, though. So it is a lot of money, but they're trying to guarantee to host a Super Bowl run. That's the thing.
Oh my God.
Sadly, it's not. Sadly, it's nowhere near the worst stadium deal I've seen. It is going to be a dome.
Yeah, but I saw something today. It was
Tennessee's deal is worse.
Yeah, the Tennessee's deal is way worse. But the taxpayers will build the parking garages and the surrounding area, but the team gets all the revenue. But the team gets all the revenue from that shit. And it's okay.
That's always happens.
Yeah, it's but at least the team is putting something in. Tennessee is 100% taxpayer funded. It's ridiculous.
Mostly 100%
but
taxpayer.
A lot of times when those are 100% taxpayer funded, the rent and the revenue and the concerts and all that stuff goes to the city. So
unless you're Cincinnati, and then they took them over a barrel.
Yeah,
I think does Tampa Bay have that? Because Tampa Bay got a fully taxpayer funded stadium. Does their stadium get the concerts? Or does Tampa get the concerts there? I'm not sure.
It always goes down to whoever owns what authority. A lot of times they set up a separate government to a separate entity to own and operate, but a lot of times that is owned by the local government. So, but I think that in this one, if the Commanders are putting up money, they're going to own and operate it. So that's even better for the owners. They invest a little up front, but then they get, a portion of the revenue.
Well, you have to think too, this is what happens when you go on a deep playoff run. It's a lot easier to get these deals passed. And also the fact that they're not a sniveling rat in Dan Snyder. That also helps too.
Mm-hmm.
As I said, Dan Snyder has to be punching air because that was his dream to rebuild something on RFK. And DC told him to kick rocks. That's hilarious.
Chicago. Oh, okay.
I love this. Leap Opstad. Leif Upstad. Happy anniversary of the Kadarius Toney pick.
Yes, thank you. If they take Kadarius Toney,
I'm gonna freaking lose my mind.
I'm gonna freaking lose my mind. And they're like,
it was
with the 15th
beautiful.
pick in the NFL draft, the Giants take Kadarius Toney, and that chair got. I apologize to the chair.
Mm-hmm. Oh well, you threw it out, so
night.
You beat the shit out of that chair.
That was a sad day for that chair when I had to throw him out. Every pick except for the 10th overall pick from the Bears was acquired via trade in their draft. Of all 7, of all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of all their 8 picks were changed hands from somebody else. Mm-hmm. What a crazy draft. I don't like what they did. I don't like taking a tight end that early.
I mean, unless you're really good. I think the thing is, once again, you said it earlier, they really wanted Ashton Jeanty. And the fact that they couldn't get him. And, I mean, like Ben Johnson's probably in a padded room going insane because, as I said, their goal was Ashton Jeanty. And you can point to one thing, Chicago beating Green Bay in Week 18.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the reality is they didn't really need Will Campbell because they have a couple decent guys at tackle. They have Braxton Jones, and they also have the right tackle. I forget his name. But as I said,
but they took 2 tackles in this draft. Like, dude, Caleb Williams was sacked how many times last year? 68
That's
times.
Why they beefed up their interior line. They beefed it up in free agency.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying. I don't think they did all that well.
They wanted GT.
I'm going to give them a C. I think just because they didn't get who they want, I'm going to give them a C or a D.
Yeah.
How about just give them
a C? We'll have to see. Maybe Colston Loveland becomes pretty good, but what happens with Cole Kmet? That's my question. Because Kmet's a solid tight end.
He's good, but yeah, I was surprised. But you can always run 12 personnel. A lot of teams they want to run that 12.
Yeah.
Okay. Read a super.
Yep, will do. Rich the fourth. If only New York and Pitt actually made it. Go Caps. Very lame. Very, very lame. And SB is here for a new member, 6 months. Thank you very much, brother. Sanders of the Browns is such a Browns pick. It's a very Brownsy pick. It's a very Haslam Metals pick.
It was a very Haslamian pick.
The Brownsonian sounds like a really dilapidated museum with just failure on every wall.
The Brownsonian. It's just let's go into the Brown room, and it's just a wall covered in dried feces, and they're just like, and then there's name plaques for all the quarterbacks that started for them.
And there's one exhibit. It's like, oh, we're going to see the Johnny Manziel experiment. And it's literally just Johnny Manziel sitting in a padded room.
There's the tier room. You go into the Brownsonian, and then there's a room where you just go in there and cry. And you're just like, yeah, this is where Browns fans can just enjoy their misery together. And they're just around crying, and they tell stories. They're like, the fumble, man. And it's just Ernest Biner's fumble, like projected on a wall in the back over and over again. And they're just going, let's never go to the Brownsonian. All right, Cincinnati. What they did in the draft, I like what they did. They took Shamar Stewart, right?
I feel like it's just
edges.
It's just
go ahead.
Throw a dart in a billboard for the Bengals. I mean, could they have done better though? That's the question, because they haven't really solved any questions here. Like Shamar Stewart could be good. You have a 25-year-old inside linebacker probably to replace Jermaine Pratt. You're probably gonna have a couple day one starters, but my question is, what happens with Trey Hendrickson? Is Shamar Stewart just replacing Sam Hubbard? I mean, it could be.
The crazy thing is they had no defense last year. They take 2 guards in this draft and 2 linebackers. They did get some linebacker help, but their defense was bad last year.
Their defense was atrocious.
It's going to take 2 years.
And guard, they had some questions at guard too. So it's more or less just figuring out what happens there. I would give them like a C or a D.
Let's give them a D. We gotta be harsher.
Give them the D. Give them the D.
Give them the D. D them up. D them up. All right. Speaking of the Brownsonian, do we have any super chats?
Yeah, we got plenty of Brownsonian super chats from Justin Ziegler. Good news, Tree. You didn't get Sanders or Milroe per your wish. Price, low. Well, Howard is a legit chance of starting unless 5 plays Days of Our Lives, Days of Our Steelers, and Aaron Rodgers. He's still deciding. I mean, everyone's saying, like, oh, we're going to get Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, he's still deciding. It's a very, very lengthy decision.
It's weird.
It's Aaron Rodgers. I don't want to deal with him because, as I said, he doesn't have the mobility.
Yeah, he used to have all those fast twitch muscles. He used to be the best.
It's not just that; it's the torn Achilles.
Yeah, he was really good, but now he sucks.
I mean, he's 41. He has a torn Achilles. He wasn't that good last year, and quite frankly, I mean, your offense is going to be limited. All right, David G. I'm surprised you still have Power Tree. Like 300K without power and PA, prayers up for them. I agree. The thing is, like, there was a huge cell of storms that came through Pittsburgh. There were 80-mile-per-hour winds. When you get the alert on your phone and it says devastating in all caps with 80-mile-per-hour winds, it's you kind of hunker down and pray. I mean, it was pretty dark around here. I think we dodged the worst of it here, but there are a lot of places without power. I mean, if I lost power, I would have been telling you, dude, I lost power. I can't go today.
Yeah, do you go down into your Frady holes? Do you have those?
No,
in Pittsburgh?
we don't really have Frady holes, but as I said, we got a little bit of rain, but we got rain, we got wind, but it wasn't like anything bad. There were a bunch of roofs down here, a lot of down power lines. It's kind of a mess.
Yeah, it sucks.
So apparently we're getting more storms around 10 or 11. So we'll see. I mean, hopefully we keep the power on, knock on wood, but I agree, man. It's definitely something. There's a lot. I didn't realize it was that many without power. I thought it was like 20 to 30,000, but yeah.
This is funny. Something. This next one.
Yep, Joe Crow. Here's $1 for each Browns QB on the roster. This team continues to do things that defy logic and rational explanation. Hey, a few more names to add to the quarterback jersey list. The new quarterback jersey list.
I like Joel's little avatar there. That looks like a sticker that you get in a Cracker Jack box or something. You know, you're just like, oh, look, it's a race car, and you're like, cool.
Yeah, it's a Formula One livery. I'm not sure which livery that is, but it's an interesting one. It's a teal and like an orange.
I don't know. Guys will see that picture and just be like, hell yeah.
Oh yeah, Instinctive 30 into the 7K Os Emeralds. I get why questioning Shuck, but after Dart, there weren't many options left. Well, true. It was either Shaddur or I was never impressed with any quarterback in this class. Let's be honest here. Like Cam Ward could be really good, but he needs time. He needs time. I think he's got the right mindset. I think he'll be good. But like other guys like Shaddur, I'm not crazy about. Like I thought he was overrated. Like Shuck, I can't trust the guy who was backing up Justin Herbert. I feel like he's like a 30-year-old in a high school movie back in the 90s. He's one of those guys. And then Jalen Milroe I never liked. Dylan Gabriel I never liked. So, yeah. Next year is the big class. Trevante Townsend. Tree, when the Steelers didn't draft the QB in the first, what do you think took it the worst, and why was it Chiseled Adonis? Chiseled Adonis was flipping out over that, but the question is, like, what are we doing? But, well, yeah, because he wanted a quarterback. But he wanted Jackson Dart or Shaddur. But I'm like, I as I said, I don't trust the Steelers to develop either of them.
They didn't do Kenny Pickett right. They just gave up on him pretty quick. They gave
him Matt Canada, and Sean Albert. The Rockies have officially achieved 10,000 simulations. Long live the memes. 4-24. You're correct. Yep. They've got a ways to go before they reach the 5-40 or the 5-45. They've got a ways to go for that. And Beast of Metal 1989, regardless of how much money it was hoarding at casket time, I cannot properly express my regret for mocking a corpse and the empty suits it left behind. Those suits can definitely be reused again in the Goodwill. Cheap on the market.
Is he talking about Mike Sullivan getting fired?
No, he's talking about Dolan, I think.
Oh, okay. Or Mike Sullivan, did they just agree to part ways?
I think they agreed to part ways. It had been time.
It was time.
It was one of those things where, like, he should have been gone a couple years earlier, probably 2020, if we're going to be completely honest here. Maybe 2021. But the thing there, it's that the personnel didn't fit his style. The team was kind of losing its message, and the Pens were going in a different direction. It's like, okay, we're probably going to pivot to a few different things, probably start a rebuild or something, or maybe try and change up a few things in personnel and philosophy. And they decided, okay, we're going to move on. And so, you know what? I mean, as I said, like it was time, but the thing is, once again, hey, I thanks Sully for the cups. I wish him the best of luck in the future. He's probably going to be your next coach for the Rangers. So
probably, yeah, he's a Rangers guy. Yeah, he was their power play coach before.
Yeah, he was their assistant with Torts.
Yeah,
and he's the kind of dude that a locker room needs a shakeup. That's the kind of guy you bring in. He's an alpha dog.
He's a fiery dog.
Yep.
He's very
so Sully to Pittsburgh does make a lot of sense. Maybe even Sully to Boston again.
Yeah. All right, let's do Cleveland because we don't have all night. Cleveland was weird. They started out really well. They traded down.
Well, got a future first-round pick. I mean, Travis Hunter's going to be really good, but Mason Graham does fill a need. That's probably the guy they wanted. We're going to be completely honest here. And you get a future first.
Yep. And they got my favorite name player. His name sounds like it should be in a Key and Peele squid. Quinshawn Judkins, College University. Quinshawn Judkins, Ohio State. That sounds like him. And then the weird thing, they got crazy drunk. They must have been drinking all their celebration. They go Dylan Gabriel. They draft another running back in Dylan Sampson and then Shaddur Sanders. So they turn an A+ draft into what
like
I would say is a D.
A B- or C. Like two quarterbacks and two running backs when you got all those needs, that's strange. Because, I mean, I know Nick Chubb's gone, but
yeah.
I mean,
I think it's a D because it's the Browns. That's what they do. They just fuck up drafts. And none of these players are good. Maybe Mason Graham
didn't medal, maybe it'd be better. But it's like, dude, do you really think the Jimmy Haslam didn't truly medal in that pick for Shaddur? Because they're just in there like,
there's ways to medal without even meddling. There's ways to, it's like, hey, we could still take, he's like, why don't you just take Sanders? And it's your boss. You don't want to fuck up. He's a fucking idiot, dude.
He writes the paychecks.
And he's not a guy who's even pretending that he's not meddling. He never comes out and says, I'm not meddling. At least Dan Snyder lied to the public. It's like, I'm going to step back.
Dan Snyder never stepped. Did anyone believe him? It's like Pinocchio with the nose. Oh, I'm going to step back.
Yeah. All right, let's do Dallas.
Oh, are you Debbie? Are you going to do Dallas?
So they got Tyler Booker, a guard, which that's the Zach Martin replacement. So they felt a need. I like Azaraku, but they didn't get a wide receiver. They didn't get a single wide receiver. So
and they still have a whole wide receiver too.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing too, it's tough because Dallas did have a huge need because of Zach Martin. I feel like once again, it's one of those players that they wanted to trade down, but they really couldn't find any takers. Aziraku isn't bad too, but they still have a hole in defensive tackle.
Yeah, and they took two running backs. Interesting, Phil Maffa.
Well, they did need some running backs.
They did, but I don't know. They wanted Genti, but they weren't going to get him at 12.
Chicago was going to leapfrog him. They wanted him a lot more. I thought they would have gone to Marion Hampton. I mean, they would. That seems like a Jerry Jones pick, but investing in the line's pretty solid. Tyler Booker is the right mentality. Like he wants to rip dudes' hearts out and destroy their love for the game.
He'll probably be good.
I can get behind this guy.
Yeah, but I thought Matthew Golden was going to be there, dude. I'm going to give them a D. I just don't they didn't address really many needs there. So it's I'm going to give them a D. I'm going to give them the D.
Give them the D5. Give them the D.
Denver. This was weird. I was gauging Perna's reaction. Perna was neither in nor out. They did draft a punter, good for them. Drafting a punter in the 6th round.
Quandarius Robinson, another Key and Peele name.
J.D. Barron's a good pick, if you ask me.
Oh, Jedi Barron? Oh, yeah. I mean, I think it was one of those picks that was too good to pass up. I think it was one of those kind of things because I feel like they would have gone running back or wide receiver otherwise, but it's like, dude, this guy dropped him and Pat Surtain as the shutdown corner tandem. Yeah, you have Justin Herbert and Patrick Mahomes in your division. Yeah, I mean, you need good corners. So it's understandable there. I mean, I thought they did well. A lot of Broncos fans hate RJ Harvey, which is interesting because, I mean, I guess they were thinking something else, but they were like kind of, they're like not really.
Well, they needed, they had a huge need on the other side of the opposite Surtain. So they filled it. I'm going to give them a C.
Yeah, I'd say
even a B. You know what? I'll give them a B. They filled a huge need.
I mean, I ain't going to complain.
And then Detroit.
Ooh, they're interesting.
They got a defensive tackle.
I think with Detroit, they could have gone in a bunch of different directions and been okay. I mean, remember, they had a bunch of defensive players on IR, so I'm guessing that's helping them out too. Like, you need to allow Aiden Hutchinson to breathe, and that's what they're trying to do with Tyreek. Like, eat up a couple double and triple blocks, triple chips.
Yeah, I got to give them a C no matter what, because they weren't going to get remarkably better and they weren't going to get any worse. You know, they're still the best team in the NFC, honestly. And if they stay healthy, they'll probably make a run to the championship game again. But, like, judging by these picks, you can't really tell how they're going to, you know, they pick so late. It's like, okay. Well, you know, who knows?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We got some more supers. Yeah.
Yeah, buddy. OKC, KFC, UFC, Lakers to Cancun in 5. I can't wait for Shannon Sharpe and all of ESPN to make hundreds of excuses for LeBron, Luka on Thursday morning. Shannon Sharpe ain't going to be there, man. He's taking a sabbatical.
Yeah, because of this lawsuit. Yeah, this lawsuit's crazy.
Apparently, like, it's really weird. Apparently, it's a dom relationship where, like, she was a submissive and it was, like, full of BDSM and shit. Everyone's saying, like, this is a guy that didn't like turn off his like camera during an Instagram. Like, dude, that was a flex. He's flexing that he's fucking.
Yeah,
that's shit.
He's like, I'm putting it in her butthole.
Probably,
you guys should be jealous of me and putting it in her butthole.
I mean, that 20-year-old. I mean, that OnlyFans girl did have some nice cake, but I wouldn't pay her like $10 million to hush her up. That's
yeah. Yeah, you could just subscribe to her OnlyFans.
I mean, she probably already did. That's what do you think they meant?
Probably.
Connor Akers for 5. What moment is the NFL's equivalent to Michael Jackson holding the baby over the balcony?
Ooh. Just a cringe, an all-out cringe moment on that gets captured by the paparazzi. Probably Tyreek Hill getting pulled over before the game and then getting cuffed. That was pretty Michael Jackson holding the baby over the balcony. That was weird. The baby had like a towel on his head and he was like,
yeah, and then it just fell off like he was trying to like enjoy it, and then it turned into a huge scandal. Like they were talking about that for months. That was like a night show like staple for a long time. And the sad thing is, like, Michael Jackson dying was probably the best thing to happen to his PR. Because remember, 20 years ago, it was nothing but Jacko jokes. And just him, like, you know, abusing boys and it being sexually promiscuous, the baby, and that sort of stuff. Like his weird kids surgery. And the masks. Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then once he died, that stuff stopped.
At the Neverland Ranch. Yeah, they were just like, thank God. No more fucking putting out fires anymore. They probably lived for it. They probably loved it. They were like, yes.
I really think it's been over 15 years since Michael Jackson died, too.
I know. It's crazy.
And Jared Oberfeld, I'll admit I decided to do my own live stream for the draft. Well, I did not get any views. I still had fun and want to do more streaming. Dude, it's all that counts, man. As long as you enjoy doing it, that's the fact, man. I mean, money's secondary, but at the end of the day, if you enjoy doing it, that's all good. And the issue you have, especially with the NFL draft, it's just so saturated right now, man. Like, it's
we're very lucky. We've been doing this since 2018.
Because we're fucking assholes. I don't know why people watch. I'm not even saying that to be like negative. It's just like
and we overreact to probably decent picks, unless it's Kadarius Toney. We say really dumb shit, which. You know, it's pretty easy for both of us. Yeah. And then you're a fucking salty Yinzer, and I'm a loser Giants fan. So it kind of works.
You're a ball piece of shit.
Yeah. But anyone that wants to stream the draft. You get to talk about the picks, and maybe someone will watch it later and be
Any advice? Oh, in Holy Craft, Atlanta drafted on defense. I agree. I'm surprised Atlanta finally drafted edge. I feel like they went too far the other way in the pendulum, though, especially trading a future first for pick 26.
Any advice? Have fun.
Yeah, just do what you got to do and always find ways to improve yourself. That's my advice, Jared.
Yeah. Always.
Irvin Alvarado. Yep. Screw ESPN for not showing Grossi's pick. Thank you, NFL Network and JG9. They get medals. ESPN's no longer a worldwide leader of sports. But, dude, they couldn't actually show the draft. They have to argue about Shaddur Sanders for the 5th hour.
Yeah.
Let's be real, Irvin.
Yeah. They didn't show Tom doing his thing. Scooter is saying Cowboys should be S tier. S tier is the bottom, right? Crap.
Yeah, Scooter? I feel like we should. It's better than GHIJKLMNOP and Q&R. Like it's S grade. Mm-hmm. It's lower than S there. I might give him Z grade. So who knows?
It was bad, Scooter. You thought you were going to get a wide receiver. You thought wrong. You thought wrong. You did not get a wide receiver. They will not be getting the wide receiver that they wanted. No weapons. But you got 2 running backs. Good luck with those. Cowboys, I don't know. Cowboys could be decent next year. Who knows? But I think the Giants greatly improved over last year. All right, the Packers of Green Bay. They got a wide receiver for the first time.
In the first round, 23 years. Unbelievable. It's like they were waiting for this moment too. It was such a fan service pick. Like they really pumped it up. It's like the first time in 23 years, and everyone just like popped. They knew what they were doing. They knew what they were doing.
They drafted a wide receiver. I said, "Wow, they drafted a wide receiver." That was the wide.
You have to do this for the wide receiver. Greatest wide receiver in the history of wide receivers.
Greatest wide receiver. They said they drafted a wide receiver. I said, "Wow." That was.
And then they had it again on day 3 with Baron Sorrell.
They drafted another one.
And Savion Williams too. They drafted him.
I don't know how to gauge it. I would just give him a
I'd
C
say like a B or C. Point. I would say that. I think the thing too
is
Christian Watson's dad isn't too happy. Yeah. Really? Give him some credit. I'll give him a higher grade because they allowed Tom Grossi to announce his selection. So
let's give him a sentimental grade. All right. That was pretty cool. One of clickbait. What do
you feel about? Yeah, I mean the most famous of the clickbaiters now.
Yeah.
When I'm putting the fries in the bag and like a couple of years, man, you remember us little people. Remember?
Yeah.
Remember who helped you along the way, man. I'm so fucking proud.
I'm proud too. I'm proud of Tom.
Beautiful.
I'm not proud of me. I'm very
well. I wouldn't be proud of you either. You talk about showing your butthole all the fucking time. Speaking of Houston, I mean, how do you feel about Houston's draft? I mean, that's what happens when you do anal, man. Shit gets rough.
So they took Jaden Higgins. They got a wide receiver, a tall one.
Couple wide receivers. Jalen. They had a Jaden, a Jalen, and a Jalen. And a Jalen.
How do I even say this?
They had a full chase.
Yeah. They're good on Jalen.
2 Jalens with an I, a Jalen with an E, and then Jaden.
This is the all-name draft right here. Ailorante. How do I say
Carolina
that?
Fucking tied it. Holy shit.
Arante Arce.
Ariante?
Ariante. Areole.
Ariante Arceri?
Keontae Hamilton. Luke Lachey.
Jaquavius Marks. That is definitely
that is a great one. Woody Marks, but his real name is what? This is a
Jaquavius Marks. Running back USC.
Wow.
Carolina tied it up too. Went down from 3-0. Oh, the Devils are fucking done. They done.
I'm gonna give Houston a C.
Yeah, but
and then Indy, Tyler Warren,
very Indy pick. I think everyone had them like lined up towards Tyler Warren for the entirety of the draft. It's like everyone random Tyler Warren in the Colts, and it was just pretty much given because they needed a tight end and he fit the style of their scheme. It's like, Tyler Warren. I would have been shocked if he didn't go to the Colts.
Why'd they waste a pick on Riley Leonard? He's not going to make that roster.
Developmental.
Yeah.
It's Anthony Richardson. He's not developing, and Danny Derps.
I'm almost never impressed with what the Colts do in the draft. I'm going to give them like a D.
And also, it's a fan service pick because Leonard is from Notre Dame.
Mm-hmm. All right, and then read like 3 super chats.
Yeah, buddy. Tony Williams for $5. I'm really into the draft. Yeah, buddy. What's up, Tony? Remember when the Mets were leading the NL East 3 years ago? Hashtag low Mets. Looking forward to the NFL draft video treat. Yes, sir. That should be out tomorrow. So, I mean, they were leading 3 years ago. And then they made the playoffs.
Yeah.
Several times.
And then they got beat by the Padres. That was rough.
Uh-huh. That was fun. It was hilarious, though. I got to see you mauled. And then they imploded in 23. Phantom Observer. Assume A-Rod doesn't sign with the Steelers. Can Tomlin achieve a winning season with the current QB roster? Probably, because that's just how Devil Magic works.
Devil Magic, 9-8 Super Bowl.
Just watch them go just watch them go 4-13 or 3-14 and just like make me eat shit. I mean, at that rate, I'm just like, I'm not even going to yell and scream. I'll just be like, fucking burn it to the ground. That's what I just be like. I just be like naked on the street, just waving my terrible towel, being like, let it burn.
What they do though,
let it burn.
What they do though is that in that 9-8 Super Bowl, at one point they're 7-2 or 8-1.
Yeah,
and then they
start out like 3-9 and then win the next like 5 just to fuck up the town.
Yeah, at some point you're huffing on hopium like you're in the middle of the desert hanging out with Aaron Rodgers, and you're just huffing that hopium.
Devils retake the lead.
All right, Jacksonville, they trade up for Travis Hunter. They get Caleb Ransaw. They get it makes you wonder where they're going to play Hunter. Is he going to be a cornerback, or is he going to be a wide receiver?
He might.
They might play as both. But they got a haul on defense. They got offense. Like they actually had a good draft, if you ask me.
I mean, I think so. It's better than a bulky draft. I think Travis Hunter's a game changer that they need. The question is, how good are they going to do next year? Because if they get wrecked through injuries again, it's if Trevor Lawrence stagnates again, I mean, you still have him under contract, but then you have to wonder, like, okay, is he really going to be a franchise quarterback? Because he is starting caliber, but he's got to take that next step.
Yep. Apparently, the Devils just took the lead.
Yep, I saw that. Devils just took the lead. Sens are up 1-0 too. I'm expecting some high-end talent there, but Devils did have a 3-0 lead at one point, so who knows? Let's go Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, it's a Chiefs draft. Just reload. I mean, who knows how they do? I mean, they don't have many.
Josh Simmons, I like. They got a tackle.
Yeah, they needed a left tackle. It was getting bad, dude.
Yeah. Patrick Mahomes can't do everything out there.
Well, they were down to DJ Humphries at one point when he was coming off a major injury. Like, that's how bad it got there.
Yeah. So maybe he'll anchor that position, but they're not. They don't.
You've got at least a couple years of contention left. You still have Kelsey. He's on the decline, though. I don't know how much he has left. You have some huge questions at wide receiver. Is Rashee Rice going to be dealing with suspension? Is Xavier Worthy going to be dealing with suspension? Running back, is Pacheco going to be able to return to full form? Defense, how much does Chris Jones have left in the tank? They lost a few guys in the secondary. So you've got a lot of questions to ask.
The Chargers. Marion Hampton. Good pick.
It strikes me as a very Charger, Jim Harbaugh type pick. I mean, Marion Hampton.
I'm really surprised he didn't go to the Cowboys. I'm really surprised the Cowboys didn't take him.
I thought he would have gone to the Broncos. But once again, it's one of those things. So it is definitely a Chargers kind of pick. So Trey Harris could be something there. You can't trust Quentin Johnston, though. That dude, he ain't good. He's not good.
Quentin Johnson Jefferson.
And they drafted Aronde Gaskins.
Let's see. Oh, cool.
Tight end out of Syracuse.
Triqueze. How do I say this?
Triqueze?
Triqueze Bridges.
That is definitely a Key and Peele name.
That is a key on that. Trequezy Bridges, Florida University. Quinshawn Judkins.
Yeah, buddy.
Keandre or Jack Marius Tritheratix. Apparently Jordan Peele, who wrote that skit, he knew nothing about football, but he said that he was like, the players announced themselves and he was watching, and I think he saw like DeBrickashaw Ferguson or something like say his own name, and he was like, and he went and the next day he said he handed Key a script and was like, here you go. And that became the East-West Bowl. Like, nice. And Peele doesn't watch football at all. He was like, here, I got it. But Jack Marius Tritheratix. That was fucking hilarious.
It's so true. Once Equinemius St. Brown came to the NFL, it's like, that is a real script. Like, it's so true.
Yeah. Or DeBrickashaw Ferguson.
Jaquiz Rodgers, haha, Clinton Dix.
Jaquiz Rodgers, haha, Clinton Dix.
Haha, Clinton Dix. Also known as Monica Lewinsky.
The Rams, Terrence Ferguson, they go with the tight end. They didn't pick until the second round.
Because they traded it, but they got next year's first from Atlanta for that pick. So I think that alone makes him a B, because you got incredible value. I mean, I know they wanted to trade up to 8 for Teteroa McMillan. They do have a question of wide receiver. But the thing, too, it's that, I mean, you got a future first for pick 26.
Yeah. They fleeced.
Just crazy.
They fleeced. And then they got Chris Paul Jr. Is that Chris Paul, the basketball?
CP2.
Yeah, CP2. And Kanata Mumpfield. That's a good name. Pitt.
Hail to Pitt.
All right. We give them a B for fleecing. Who'd they fleece? With
Falcons.
That first round. The Falcons. All right. The Raiders. They get Genty. So that makes their draft above average.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
They got their guy.
It's not just that. 6. It's that they couldn't just rely on Zamir White just running right into linemen every single day. It was getting bad. They had the worst rushing attack in the NFL. It was mostly because they had bad running backs. Like, sometimes you can tell it's an offensive line. Sometimes you can tell it's running backs. It's the running backs.
Then they got a haul of picks. This could be the year the Raiders make an improvement. They still don't really have. I mean, Geno Smith running a team.
They have a chance to make the playoffs. I don't think they're going Super Bowl, but I mean, getting Geno is a huge upgrade at quarterback compared to the garbage they were throwing out there last year. And also, you do have Pete Carroll. I mean, he's better than Antonio Pierce. I don't know if he'd like maybe being able to reset and rebuild the culture. Maybe that helps a little bit, but who knows?
The culture.
It's damn good. Oh, yeah, dude. Culture's always fucking.
How would you describe the culture surrounding this football team?
The culture is actually damn good.
I love that. I love that quote. And it's so perfect of the latter stage Redskins. Like, it is just them to a nutshell. And I know everyone says, like, oh, what do you expect them to say? It's like, not be so arrogant and confident in how you say it. And just by saying it's like, oh, you just show up early and you go to work. It's like, that's every fucking football team that's ever existed. What do you want them to do?
The most tone deaf, just absolutely clueless. Just, I was hired by an idiot and I am an idiot. Quote.
My brother's a senator.
Yes. My brother's a senator, and that couldn't even get reelected, by the way. He lost to Tim Kaine twice when he was winning, and he called somebody macaca or something. And he was winning. He was going to win the senatorial seat, but he made like a stupid remark, and he called somebody macaca, and then he lost. He thought he was being funny. Anyways, Miami, I don't know what Miami did.
I feel like they tried to replace a bunch of guys, but I mean, I thought they would have gone O-line first round with the Teron Armstead retirement. They did go second round O-line, but Kenneth Grant, they're trying to replace Christian Wilkins. That's what's happening here. But they didn't have a third or a fourth. And is Miami, are they done with the win now stage? Are they going to try and hold serve, rebuild? What are they doing? That's my question.
What happened in the Pacers-Bucks game? Is that?
Well, I know Damian Lillard tore his Achilles. Oh, Indy won an OT.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, the Bucks are, dude. If you're talking about a team with a lost window, even though they won a championship, the Bucks are it. You thought they would win a few more rings with Antetokounmpo, and you bring in Damian Lillard, you have a bunch of guys, and then everything's gone sideways. And now Dame might be out all of next year. He might not be the same guy. It's
fire the coach that made you.
And you bring in the Mike Tomlin of the NBA and Doc Rivers.
Yeah. No, gosh, Mike, I can't even give Doc Rivers that's like an insult to Mike Tomlin. Doc Rivers, didn't he win one championship?
Yeah, he won a championship. Tomlin also won a championship.
Yeah, that's true. But Doc Rivers gets shopped around to other fucking teams like he's supposed to fix
because
them
they realize he got fired.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Definitely sound.
All right, the Dolphins, I'm just gonna give a C.
Yeah, C or D. Let's do a few more super chats. Oh, Carolina tied it again. 2-man advantage too. So.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
What a seesaw battle.
Defense and goaltending need not apply in this game. I think with Carolina too, they're without Freddie Anderson, so they're down to their backup. That might be why they're giving up a ton of goals. But New Jersey, I mean, you spent all this money trying to replace your defense and goaltending, and you're just getting
what happened to the Lightning? They were winning 2-1, and then the Florida put it on them, and they were like, "Nah, we don't think you should."
I feel like Florida's the worst possible matchup for them right now. You have a team that's pretty much loaded, but they're just beating the shit out of them physically. Dude, Tampa Bay wants Florida killed for what they did to Brandon Hagel last night.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, killed.
What's Toronto doing?
They're down 1-0 right now, but I'm expecting some high-end talent.
Yeah, they're gonna.
Who knows? I mean, they should advance. They better advance. Mm-hmm. Or we meme them to death, especially in the Battle of Ontario.
Yeah.
Reverse sweeps and Battle of Ontario. Oh, they ain't living that.
But I don't know if they're going to beat the Lightning or the Panthers next round. I don't know.
I feel like they're a bad matchup. Yeah. I mean, especially with the Panthers at full health. I mean, they could, but as I said, it'll be a tight series.
Uh-huh.
The dumpster fire over enthusiastic intern Caleb gifted 1 membership. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. And then we'll do a Pirate Panda for 10. Good evening, boys. What did y'all eat for dinner? I'm personally in line for Chick-fil-A. Also, I think Tom is rubbing off on me as I'm drinking Lakers fans' tears. Lakers in 5, am I right? Love y'all.
I had pork chops, by the way.
Ooh.
They were good. Mm-hmm.
I had a pork chop as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like great minds think alike. Beautiful. Yep. Virginian tree hole video going over the Steelers draft picks? Nah, just the NFL draft first round in particular. And I'll go over Shaddur.
The hater's guide.
Oh, yeah, always. And Quentin Johnston Jefferson Williams, our beloved LA Chargers wideout.
Mm-hmm.
We drafted 2 wide receivers. Are they trying to tell me something? I feel my career slipping through my fingers. I appreciate that man. I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
And Christopher Bowden gifted a dumpster fire membership. Thank you,
Let's go.
Appreciate you, brother. Thank you. Let's go over L Vikings. I mean, there are a lot of mixed opinions about the Vikings in this draft. People aren't that crazy about Donovan Jackson. He does fill a need, though. But they only had 5 picks. They had Ty Felton. And then, Gavin Bartholomew, Pitt fame. Yeah, C or D.
I love what the Patriots did. They had the balls to take Will Campbell.
Dude, they were their offensive line was the worst in football. They had to pick a lineman. I thought they would have gone with Travis Hunter, but John Tron, yep. And then Travion Henderson. I thought that was a good pickup too.
They got a center in Jared Wilson. Mm-hmm.
And the most inopportune Mr. Irrelevant ever in Kobe Minor.
Yeah.
And then I think it's like, we love minor. And it's like,
oh yeah, the tweet that said it's a minor. Did you see that?
Yes.
And then they deleted it like instantly.
It's like, oops. It's like, what? Oh wait, we didn't think about this one.
We did not. We did not think about.
Dude, I mean, if he gets caught in certain situations, that meme is coming back.
Yeah, it is. Remember, the internet is forever.
Yes.
The internet is forever. We are always screenshotting.
The internet never forgets.
And we are documenting everything. All right. I like what the Patriots did. Let's give them a B.
Yeah.
Because I just like the Will Campbell pick. It was good. And then Nollins, Kelvin Banks, they got a tackle. Yep.
And then they drafted Tyler Shuck.
Yeah, I don't know about
that. He is a guy born in 1999. And I mean, they draft a quarterback in the second round, or first or second, for the first time since 1971. But
they probably wanted Jackson Dart, but when they saw Jackson Dart get traded up for, they're like, shit. Well, the only guy.
And then Shaddur probably bombed his interview, and he was probably off their board.
Yeah, they didn't even come close to Shaddur. They were just like, ew, brother, ew.
Yep.
What's that?
And then
did Quinn Ewers get drafted?
Yeah, Quinn Ewers got drafted by Miami. And the thing with Quinn Ewers, too, he had like a $6 to $8 million transfer offer, and he's going to make so much less in the NFL. Could you imagine saying that 5 years ago? That you were going to make more money in college than the pros?
Yeah, he should have stayed in college. No one's ever said that.
Yeah, I know, right? I mean, the only thing Shaddur got from New Orleans was a prank call for some college kids.
Oh, my gosh.
The dumbasses recorded
Jeff
themselves.
Ulbricht's kid.
Yeah, the dumbasses recorded themselves. If they didn't record themselves, they probably would have gotten away with it. That's the problem I have. I mean, it's like, don't kick.
No, they did it. They recorded themselves for the clout.
Yeah, and it's fucking stupid. It's a bitch move. Because once again, it's like, if you're going to prank somebody, don't record yourself doing it because you're going to get caught.
Just don't prank
them. Especially if you're the son of a famous defensive coordinator. Then they could just
that's how they got his number.
Yeah, because if they didn't record, guess what? No one was going to know it was Jax Ulbrich. And then Jeff Ulbricht's ready to probably choke a bitch right now.
Yeah, he's like, what the fuck?
Because not only that, you may have cost your dad his job.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with a little memeing, but dude, Shaddur was already eating endless shit as it is. It was hilarious in its own. You didn't have to do that.
All right. Keep going.
It was so cruel. I mean, it was a little bit hilarious, but still, yeah, they could have done it better too, though. It's just like, hey, it's Mickey Loomis from the New Orleans Saints. Look, buddy, I know you've been waiting a while. You're going to be waiting a little longer. Done. And then just not do like we're going to take you. It's just like, yeah, you're going to be waiting. That would have been
fucked
fun.
Up. Yeah.
It's dark.
Yeah, they did not execute it correctly. Either.
Well, it's in the moment. Too. Yeah, they fumbled that like Juju Smith-Schuster in the Superdome. Definitely so. Speaking of that, Red Rhino 49, I'm not the biggest fan of Shaddur and even laughed at him when he slid to the third day, but he didn't deserve to get that prank call. I mean, a lot of guys got prank called that day. But the problem is, it's like, I don't even think those are funny either. Like Tyler Warren got it. Cooper DeJean got it like last year. And I think who else got it? Mason Graham, I think, got it too. But I think the only one that gave it to Shaddur was Jax Ulbrich. Once again, the thing about those other prank calls, they weren't recording themselves, so they didn't get caught. Although, actually, I think Mason Graham, they had a TikTok that had his number on it, and then he got punked to hell and back. And it just got spam called. See, that's something like that. Shaddur was miserable as it is. Let's be real here. I was laughing at his free fall too, because I mean, all the shit he did, the custom chain, the legendary, the branding, all the shit he did, like the rumors. Now I'm sitting there at the end of day two. It's like, yeah, there's some serious smoke to those interview rumors. All right. But let's go over your Giants, sir.
Okay. I'll give the Giants. I like the Giants, what they did. I did not like them trading up for Jackson Dart. I think if they would have gotten him organically, it would have been great. But yeah, I'm going to give them a B. I like what they did. They got Abdul Carter. That's who they got. They got a quarterback in Jackson Dart, and it didn't cost them much. It was basically a pick swap.
Like a second-round pick.
Darius Alexander first. So now they have Abdul Carter, Darius Alexander, Kayvon Thibodeau, Brian Burns, and Dexter Lawrence.
And Cam Scatterboo.
He
brings a lunch pail to work, baby.
We got Cam Scatterburr, who's a tough runner. He's going to get us some tough, hard-fought Brandon Jacobs type yards. And then Marcus Embo was the cherry on top of a really good draft. So I like what they do. I'm going to give him a B for sure.
Peter, Mel Kiper. That was his bunch of jerks moment. It's him just melting down over Shaddur.
Oh, yeah, over Shaddur, yes.
Reese Davis was talking, like literally just flipping out. It's like, dude, calm the fuck down.
Yeah.
And Reese Davis is whiter than white.
Power through these super chats, and then we'll blow through these next draft picks.
Steel Talica 19. If Rodgers does, I forgot one from 3 for 10. To clarify about the new Commander Stadium, the taxpayer funding is only for supporting infrastructure alone, not the stadium. Meanwhile, the new Brown Stadium looks like an actual factory of sadness. I did mention that.
Oh yeah, it looks like a youth center. The new Brown Stadium. It looks bad. It looks very
like a YMCA, but with more sadness.
It looks really weird.
Steel Talica 19. If Rodgers does not join A+ draft, we can finally somewhat tank. If he does join D draft, another 9-8 Groundhog Day Super Bowl. It's gonna be 9-8 regardless. We know how this is.
9-8 Super Bowl.
The illusion of choice. Aaron Rodgers, Mason Rudolph, 9-8.
Or nothing. Yeah.
Just death. Soupy Spirit, bring back former XFL MVP Tommy Maddox.
Yeah, he was selling insurance.
Hey, Tommy Maddox had a few good years. He was selling insurance before he got to the XFL. If you're good, you can make money in insurance, but I mean, it's a lot of work there. Toon Link Maine, happy Tuesday. I made some of the greatest moments -MHA character critique comparison vid from last week, hoping for a reaction on clickbait soon. We'll have to take a look at that, Five.
Okay.
And Beast of Metal. Agreed to part ways equals Sully said fulfill these non-negotiable terms, and Kyle Dumbass said fuck off. It was time, but I think Kyle will botch the replacement. Thanks for the cups and memories, Mike. Well, very true. It's the style of play. They weren't going to be able to
win 2 cups. Yeah.
Yep. It was a while ago, but he did win it. It's the longest tenured coach in the NHL. And No Rules X dumpster fire greater than ESPN. You guys have better takes. I mean, are we?
Well, if it was up to us, we would air Tom Grossi making this pick. Okay.
Oh, I mean, we would. I'd do it.
No bias.
I wouldn't talk about Shaddur for 5 fucking hours in a row. RKB 48.1, unrelated to the draft. Tried out Chimay Blue after U-Tree mentioned it on stream. Tasted like a fancier Guinness. Any other beers that taste like this? Oh, I would say pretty much any imperial stout or porter, like they're boozy like stouts. I mean, bourbon barrel stouts. If you love bourbon, like they have a lot of power. New Holland Dragon's Milk is really heavy. It's I think at 13 or 14%. It's bourbon barrel aged stout. You have one, you feel it. It is delicious, but I mean, yeah, I haven't had one in a long time. Chimay Blue, I haven't had one of those in a bit either. But I mean, those are rare things, man. Unfortunately, that adds a bit to the gut, so I try not to drink. And Jim Kip, you're right. Rep Seymour Wiener, the Mets legend.
Yes, Mets legend, and unfortunately named, but a Met legend, by the way. Why would his parents do that to him? But now he doesn't have to hear any Seymour Wiener jokes.
The fact that he embraced that name and didn't bother to change it, I salute that. That is a veteran, my friend. Griff Tech Productions. The IFL is getting interesting. New team out of Fishers, Indiana started off hot, called off while Iowa and Jacksonville, old AFL teams, are in opposite direction. Did you see the stuff
Indoor
coming out
Football
about
League?
Yeah, and that you see what's coming out about the AFL too, about Corpus Christi. Like they weren't paying their guys for about 3 weeks. And a couple hours before the game, they all walked out, and Corpus Christi had to field pretty much a glorified pickup team. They lost something like 100-12.
So they just got guys off the street, or they put in a Craigslist ad.
Oh yeah, I mean, they either picked up like a custom team, or they pretty much did what we did in Dallas. They fielded like a random team of like ragtag get-togethers. They paid them a couple bucks, and they got their asses beat.
Damn, they probably had a blast doing it. Mm-hmm.
Deech, for 6 months, praised the Jeebus for Kerbo too. Stars might bullshit their way to a cup. I'm surprised they got their shit together. I'm going to be completely honest there. And you have Heiskanen coming back as well. And Darth Soldier. Oh, this is a classic joke. Hey guys, what time is bedtime at the Michael Jackson house? When the big hand touches the little hand. Oh, that's a classic.
I love the children. I want to spend time
Children,
with them.
being ignorant.
I just
Just
love
ignorant.
children. Yeah,
Be children.
I love nothing's happening. He's just sleeping in my bed with a grown man.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what happens when you're forced to be an adult when you're a kid. You become a kid when you're an adult.
Yep.
Beast of Metal 19.
He was just a giant kid.
Yeah, that's pretty much.
His dad was a
piece
him
of
up
shit.
Too. His dad was weird.
Yeah,
oh
like
my God,
I mean,
Joe Jackson.
They were all messed
he would
up
like
in certain ways, man.
Yeah, he would like break into their rooms while they were sleeping and like attack them so that they would be like ready for an attack or something. Like he was just weird.
Yeah, like he was a failed like superstar, and his kids became superstars.
Yeah.
And he was like a disciplinarian, and like he never really took.
Yeah,
blame
he was like a robo dad. Yeah,
it was like the Todd Marinovich. Like that.
Yeah.
That's what Michael Jackson was. But Michael Jackson had a bit more success than Todd Marinovich.
Yeah, a little bit. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a little bit. Beast of Metal. Senators up 1-0 after 2. If they take the Mapletrons to Game 7, will you guys do a live reaction stream to that game? Ooh. Well, I mean, we'll have to see how this goes first. Got to take it one.
I don't think it's gonna. I don't think so. I don't think that's happening.
If it goes to Game 7, I'll just shit my pants. But who knows?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Got to win 4. Michael Orm for 10. Damian Lillard suffered a nasty Achilles tear and will be out a long time. It crushes me to hear the news considering what he did in Portland. Yeah, I mean, he's going to be out all next year. He's probably not going to be the same player. It's a fucking shame.
Yeah, he's won me a lot of money on DraftKings. I'll tell you that. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Dame.
Always with the DraftKings,
for a
man.
wonderful revenue season. Mm-hmm. Are we at the bottom yet? Oh,
no, we got a few more.
5 more. Yeah.
Soaring Eagles, Miami Dolphins, Gary Busey.
No, they took Gary Busey. I just want to talk about butter sausage.
Ooh, ain't that the truth? And
Oh,
New York
Russ.
Giants legend Russell Wilson, your friend, my former friend. I like the majority of our draft, except for us drafting Jackson Dart at 25, F-grade pick. No, I'm not biased. And Sports Ball Otaku, I skipped Dad's birthday dinner for that Toronto.
Oh, man.
I mean,
That's
you're only
jacked
down
up.
1. Relax. Bragging Rights Sports, Jimmy Haslam and Doc Rivers equals match made in heaven. No,
Yep.
that was Jimmy Jackson, Jimmy Haslam, and Hugh Jackson.
Hugh Jackson. Mm-hmm.
And James Lindsley, the Bucks are screwed. Jimmy Haslam will drive Giannis out of Milwaukee. That's what they're saying.
Yeah, remember Jimmy Haslam owns the Bucks or a part of the Bucks.
He's a minority owner.
Yep. That's the closest he'll ever get to a championship.
Yeah. It says the last thing we see from Giannis in the Bucks jersey might be him going after Mr. Halliburton.
All right, let's plow through these. The Jets, they took Armand Membu. They took some offensive line help, a tight end. Jets didn't do that bad. I'll give him a C. The Eagles never mess up their draft, right? They took Jihad. They took Jihad Campbell. Did they trade up for Jihad?
Yes, they traded up one spot, gave up a 5th round pick.
Yes. So they are bringing the Jihad to Philadelphia, which is also known as Kensington Avenue. I'm gonna give them a B because they just always do well in the draft. You know.
Yeah. I mean, the Eagles, they did what they had to do. And
Salty Yinzer, what do you think of the Pittsburgh draft?
I find it interesting. I'm glad they didn't take a quarterback and overreach. Derek Harmon was a pretty big need. They do need somebody in that interior defensive line. Got rid of Larry Ogunjobi. Cam Hayward's in his late 30s. The TJ Watt trade rumors having gone away. I like what they did there. Running back in the 3rd round. I mean, it's the Najee Harris replacement, Caleb Johnson. I like Jack Sawyer and Yaya Black. I think they would be interesting depth pieces there. Will Howard, I know a lot of Pittsburgh fans are like, oh my God, Will Howard is going to lead Star Super Bowl. I mean, he'll be a backup. I mean, he's got the size of Josh Allen. That's probably the only comparison to Josh Allen he'll ever have, but not bad there. But Steelers also drafted Mark Bruner's kid, Carson Bruner out of Washington. So the bloodline stays strong. I give him like a B- C+. I think they do. It's a Steelers draft. Not much you can really do there.
Okay. What do you give them?
Give him a B. It's a Steelers draft. I'll give them the advantage because they didn't reach for a quarterback.
Bias.
Whatever.
Mm-hmm. Seattle, they got a guard in Gray Zabel. They got a lot of
famous
picks.
Sherwin-Williams paint color, Gray Zabel.
I don't understand the Jalen Milroe pick, but you know.
Well, they did trade Sam Howell, so he's going to be your new backup. He's a project. And I like Emin Worry. I think that's a really good pick for what they got him as. But they were looking at him as a potential first.
Okay.
So I give him like a B. A C or a B.
Okay, give him a B.
Yeah, fair enough.
I don't like anybody's draft. I don't say anybody.
The problem is with San Fran, like grading a draft this early, there are so many variables that come into play. Like you can't really grade a draft until a couple of years down the line. You can't really assess it until 5 years down the line.
Yeah. Well, you just did that with the 2020 draft.
Well, I mean, yeah, exactly. I mean, that's what clickbait's about, baby.
Success.
And then we all get to eat shit and admit we were wrong about a bunch of different players 5 years down the road. That's just how it works.
Michael Williams, edge rusher. What did San Fran do? A C?
They drafted 5 defensive guys in their first 5 picks.
Gosh, they
needed to. I mean, the thing too, it's that they lost like 17 guys to free agency. They traded a couple other guys. They still have to pay Brock Purdy. So I would give them like probably a C. Because Michael Williams is like kind of, there could be something.
Tampa Bay. They got my favorite named player, Emeka Egbuka.
I wanted him on the Steelers because I felt like he would have had a different sort of skill set that the Steelers could use. I mean, I like the Egbuka pick. I know a lot of Tampa fans were like, maybe. Benjamin Morrison will be good if he stays healthy. I mean, they did have Tez Johnson, and they did get the heaviest player in the draft too, the tush push master out of Florida.
Oh, okay.
Desmond Watson, I think it is.
Where?
I mean, dude, he's like 450 pounds. He runs like a 5.8 40, which if he converted to like 180 pounds would be like a 3.9 40. Like the dude's a specimen. They'll probably try and slim him down, get him down to like 400. I give him a C.
All right. Tennessee had the number 1 overall pick. They took Cam Ward. I think they're the team that got the most improvement out of this draft, even though they're probably not going to win.
They couldn't go much lower. Let's be real here.
Yeah, you're right.
They did bring in some wide receiver help, some offensive line. They bring in Yomanor. They brought in his wide receiver from Miami too, as an undrafted free agent, Gunnar Helm. So they did bring in some guys. Chimere DK. I mean, like the first pick, and I love how Ian Rappaport how to pronounce DK. So you couldn't say Chimere Dyke
or Dick.
DK.
All right, and then let's close it out with Washington. They didn't have very many picks. They got Josh Connery. They went offense like a lot of teams did. They got not Torrey Amos, but Trey Amos out of Ole Miss. They got a Jalen Lane, a local boy from Virginia Tech, and then a linebacker and a running back. I'm going to give them a C. They didn't really.
That's it. It's about like a C plus, B minus. It's as I said, it's just like it's probably the most pointless stream we've ever done. But I mean, there's nothing wrong with speculating about drafts this early on.
Okay, finish these supers and then we'll get on out of here.
Sam Lusk for 5. Who has the assets to get Giannis this summer and who'd actually make sense to for him? It's going to be the Lakers. It'll probably be the Lakers.
It'll probably be the Lakers. Nick should get him.
Who would you trade?
Put him with Karl Anthony Towns. I don't know. Trade some draft picks like they always do.
I mean, who knows? I mean, you could probably trade a couple.
You could trade Michael Bridges for him.
Mm-hmm. Depends. I mean, you probably roll with Giannis, Brunson, and Cat.
And Unubi. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Definitely so. Dane B for 10. If you want to indulge, Sanders just scored on the shorthanded. Dylan Cousins. Oh boy. Come on, Toronto. I need to see some high-end talent. If you want to indulge a little, Goose Island Bourbon County Stouts. They're all good, just a little pricey. Oh, I've had those before too. Bourbon Barrel Aged Stouts. That's good shit.
Mm-hmm.
The good stuff, man. Marco for 2. Thoughts on the Ducks' $1 billion renovations?
The Honda Center was getting shitty.
Yeah, I mean, it's been around for like 30 years, right? Maybe longer.
I don't know. Or are they saying Autzen Stadium is getting $1 billion in renovations? How much renovation do you need in Autzen Stadium? I don't know which Ducks you're talking about there, bro.
Yeah.
But the Honda Center's pretty old.
Oh, I mean, definitely so.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do Grass Puddle for 5. Steelers are A+ on the draft name combo. Sawyer Black Johnson. That's definitely a name. Black Johnson. And the Lim Report, congrats, Suns, Bucks video tree. I mean, the Suns are fucked. Problem is, like, they have 2 words they're fearing right now. Second apron. If that happens, they are done.
The Sens are up 2-0 on the Maple Leafs. They could force a game 6 here. It could happen.
Off the power play. And then they go back to Ottawa, also known as Toronto's second home. But yeah, that's the end of the stream, buddy. So any final thoughts before we finish up, sir?
Go Knicks, and I like what the Giants did. I like what they did. You know what? I'm going to give them no, I can't give them an A because I don't like trading up for Jackson Dart. I just don't like it.
Yeah.
Didn't really cost them, but still. What's this? Oh, Shorty.
Yep.
Beast of Metal. Shorty's Cousins. 2-0 Sens. Get fucked, Mapletrons. Get fucked.
And another Shorty, too. I mean, their power play has kind of died. So who knows?
Do you have any parting words?
No, sir. Just working on the Haters Guide to the Draft. Should be out tomorrow.
It's also funny when Brandon Perno was like, I know that guy when he was pointing to Tom Grossi.
It's Tree.
Like, that's urinating Tree.
I told him that's fake news. That's Scooter.
Yeah. Easy mistake. All right, let's end this stream.